Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube universe, what is going on with you on this Sunday evening? It is Sunday, April 28th, 2024, roughly 7:20 p.m. California time. I am, of course, your always gracious host, Fallon from GoNootropics.com, coming at you with the black tea. Cheers. We are sipping on the black tea today, baby. Thank you all for popping through, checking this video out. Hope you had a good weekend. You're gearing up to go back to the pepper grinder tomorrow, right? A lot of us gearing up to go back to the pepper grinder. This is indeed Sunday. We're sipping on the black tea. We've cut out the kratom. We've cut out the nicotine. You know, we're just slicing and dicing, baby. Cutting a lot of these things out. Just drinking tea, man. Today I took some new peps, which is, you know, it's an okay alternative to paracetam. I'm all out of paracetam right now. The new Pept is an okay alternative, not quite the same, but, you know, just similar enough to what that whistle. In terms of nootropics, I consider paracetam to be like the gold standard, you know, and I'm all out. I haven't had paracetam in quite some time. So it's just tea and a little bit of new Pept. And a lot of thinking, baby, a lot of thinking when you quit the kratom, when you quit these things. It's like even nicotine, it's like numbs you and prevents you from thinking. You know, the kratom prevents you from thinking. It's like you don't do much thinking at all. And I think that's the point. I think that's the beauty of some of these things. It's why some of us we gravitate towards the benzodiazepines. We gravitate towards the kratom. We gravitate towards the alcohol. It's just because there's that quote. I forget who said it, but somebody said it, that man can do basically anything except sit alone in a room in total silence, right? Man is willing to do anything except sit alone in silence. And I think that's true, because you just start thinking too much. You start thinking about the world. You start thinking about, you know, your place in the world and where you fit in, and you begin overthinking, right? This is why we love the kratom, we love the nicotine, we love the alcohol, we love the benzodiazepines, because it turns the thinking off. You know, it's a skill to control the thinking and to kind of direct that energy in a positive direction and use the brain to actually propel yourself forward. It's a skill to use the brain. It's not like you just start using your brain, or because you have a brain, therefore you know how to use it properly. It's like because you have a car, therefore you know how to race it. You know how to handle the corners. You know how to properly brake. Yeah, you might get from point A to point B, but in terms of really optimizing it, in terms of driving well, in terms of thinking well, it's like, this is why I love the kratom. It's like, I don't want to sit here and think, man, because I can feel the wheels spinning. And it's like, if you think too much but you don't take any action, it's like for every thought, you really need to take some type of action along with that thought, or else you just begin to spin your wheels. And you really find yourself in a real bad place if you just overthink. You're thinking too much and you're not putting any of those thoughts into action. You're going to go stir crazy, baby. You're going to go stir crazy if you don't take those thoughts and do something with them. The thoughts are not there just to be thunk. You have to think the thought and then put the thought into action. Otherwise, you get lost in this fantasy world. You know, next thing you know, you're that babbling guy on the street with schizophrenia. We always pass this guy on our way to the store. Me and Christine, we have the bikes. We bike to the store, which I recommend if you're going stir crazy, you're coming off some of these things, and you live in a city, you want to get in shape. The bike is a beautiful machine because it's the movement that just levels out the neuroticism. It's the movement that allows you to think properly. It's the movement that kind of burns off that excess fuel that will turn toxic if you don't burn it off. The bicycle, biking to work, biking to the store, picking up your groceries on the bike, doing something new, I think is really important. But on our route, we passed this guy, and it's this guy he's clearly schizophrenic. His hair is unkempt. He's babbling to himself. He's wearing the clothes. He's wearing the old, dirty clothes. You smell him from a mile off. He's just, a lot of days, just in the corner, just kind of talking to himself. And every time I pass him, there's this great fear that I have looking at him, thinking that could easily be me. And I'm totally serious about that. If I choose to slip, if I choose to go back to drinking like how I was back in the day, I had a big problem. If I choose to do those things, I'm so close to becoming that guy. It's not even funny. I'm so close to being that guy. Or you go to the bar and you see guys there. They're not quite as bad as this schizophrenic guy I'm talking about, but you see the guys that are just in their 40s, 50s, and there's nothing offensive about them, but you look at them and they don't belong there. It's like, what are you doing with your life if you're 40, 50 years old? Still kind of hanging out at the bar. I remember seeing these guys all the time when I was out drinking in my 20s and 30s. And I remember drinking at the bar, in my 30s, thinking and looking at these guys, like being consumed in the alcohol, being steeped in the booze, but still having the presence of mind to look at these people and think to myself, that's going to be me if I don't do something. That's going to be me if I don't make some kind of change here. And, luckily the Kratom was kind of there to prevent me from drinking heavily like I was. But all the Kratom did is it kind of stabilized me. But it was like I still wasn't moving up. It was just kind of like I was there just kind of spinning my wheels and still not thinking. So both Kratom and alcohol prevented me from thinking. Kratom got me in less trouble, but it was like the result was still the same with the Kratom. It's like I still wasn't thinking. I still wasn't moving forward. I was still complacent. I was just getting in less trouble. I was kind of in the same spot, just having less problems in my life using Kratom, but still not really going anywhere of any substance. Just kind of sitting there spinning my wheels. And, every time I pass this guy, I'm like, that could easily be me. It's like still many of us, we're like teetering on the edge of a total catastrophe in our lives. It's like the house is on fire for a lot of us, especially in today's times. It's like, I don't think this is the time for us to be dulled out, for us to be mentally not sharp. It's like the jaws are... It's like we're in the bear trap. We're getting clenched. We're in the clencher. We're in the pepper grinder. And it's like a lot of us don't even see it. We don't realize how close we are to getting consumed by the fire. And the fire is obviously like a metaphor. You could imagine what that fire is. You can imagine in your own life what it feels like to just feeling like you're on the edge of being totally and utterly consumed by the flames. And just if you take a step in the wrong direction, you could just feel the clench. You could feel the clench, and you could feel the weight of all your old decisions coming back to push you deeper and deeper into the trap. And you feel those consequences, and you just feel the weight of all those bad choices just pushing you deeper and deeper into this like machine. It's like a machine that's just there to consume you and just grind you up and spit you out and really consume your soul. So this is like the heaviness that I feel when I sit and I think. This is the heaviness that I feel when I don't have the kratom, when I don't have these things. This is the heaviness that will consume you if you don't do something, right? If you don't do something to just change it, you're just gonna get pushed off. You're just gonna get pushed deeper into the trap, and then anyone can become that guy. It's hilarious to me that people look at these homeless people and clear like schizophrenics and people with mental health disorders and this and that, and they say, well, that'll never be me. Well, I hate to say it, but it will be some of us. It will be some of us. And some of us are, predisposed to becoming that person, And some of you watching this really need to be careful, because that could be you, I'd say maybe 70-80% of us right now are living month to month. A good chunk of us have very bad habits, addictive habits, and we're not that far away from being in that situation. So every time I pass him, it's like looking into like a potential future for myself if I don't make the changes. I'm serious. I'm horrified when I look at this guy. It's like I feel like I could become that guy at any moment if I don't do something different. But that's just me. So that is the video of the day, ladies and gentlemen. As always, Fallon, GoNootropics.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, I will see you very soon. Peace.